15 things to do in Google Classroom. So you're asking yourself, what can I do in Google Classroom? 1. You can make class announcements. Google Classroom gives teachers a place to post their class announcements. Teachers can post announcements to the stream and send an email to the students' Gmail accounts. Students are able to locate older announcements by scrolling down in the stream. Unlike verbal announcements are those written on a whiteboard, announcements in Google Classroom are accessible outside of class. The Google Classroom also allows students to make comments on the announcements. This transforms what might traditionally be one-way communication into two-way communication. Number 2, share resources. Google Classroom allows teachers to take a document, video, or link and push it out to their students. Utilizing Google Classroom as the consistent location for students to obtain digital resources maximizes classroom instruction time. When students are not being directed to multiple locations to find resources, the flow of the classroom is improved. Number 3, create a lesson. More than simply assigning work to students, Google Classroom allows the teacher to build a complete lesson. At the top of the stream in the classroom, the teacher can click on Assignment to start building a lesson set. The description area of the assignment allows the teacher to provide directions to students for completing the lesson and assignment. Students are able to move through the lesson more efficiently when resources and materials are presented in a logical order. Creating an instructional document in Google Drive and attaching it using the Google Drive icon can start the lesson set. To supplement the instructional document, the teacher can attach YouTube videos or videos located in the teacher's Google Drive as the next part of the lesson. Engaging videos, screencasts, or short instructional pieces can provide additional understanding beyond the instructional text. Videos can also be utilized to differentiate instructions for students. Providing multiple videos that address different learning modalities or ability levels can help students choose an instructional option that works for them. Websites that allow students to practice some of the skills in the lesson can be provided as part of the lesson set. Collaborative documents may also be added to the lesson set to allow students to brainstorm or crowdsource information. Typically, the last part of the lesson set is the assignment for the student to complete. Attaching a graphic organizer or template document provides the task for the student to complete. Managing multiple files in an assignment. Google Classroom allows for multiple attachments to a single assignment. Teachers can assign the student multi-phase projects and provide a template for each of the different phases. Organizing assignments with due dates. When creating an assignment in Google Classroom, the teacher is able to assign a due date that is clear for both the teacher and the students. Google Classroom clearly displays assignments that are not yet due on the classroom tile for the student to see immediately after logging in. Each assignment in the stream clearly indicates the due date in the upper right-hand corner of each assignment description. You can give written or voice feedback on the assignments. You can grade, you can return to the student, and you can export the grades to Progress Book. Google Classroom will allow you to go paperless. Everything can be provided in Classroom: work, turn-in, and collaboration. Discuss. A Google Sheets spreadsheet can be utilized to gather student ideas on a discussion topic. Discussion questions can be added on an individual page, and additional tabs can be used for multiple questions. The Google Sheet can be shared with students for editing access, and each student can answer the discussion questions. This allows for all students to have a voice in the discussion, even when they might struggle with speaking up in class. The spreadsheet discussion also allows the students to view their classmates' ideas in order to compare and contrast the ideas with their own. Student responses can be dragged around the sheet in order to articulate patterns and differences in student opinions. Know who edits a collaborative document. Instead of sharing a Google Doc as anyone with a link can edit, Google Classroom allows the teacher to limit editing privileges to the students enrolled in the class. The teacher can see where a student is working in the document because a cursor appears with the student's name. The teacher can also use the revision history to identify who edited the document and see where the changes were made. Peer feedback. Students can provide feedback to their peers using any of the Google Docs. The teachers can control this, so it would only be in a situation perhaps where the students would maybe be writing and they would share with another student and they would be paired up to comment on each other's work. You can also watch the students do their homework. Since Google Classroom is accessible to students on the web, they are able to submit work at night and on the weekends. Teachers can observe student work submitted 24/7. Student documents are accessible while students are working on them. Teachers can go into the assignment folder in Google Drive and see students working after school hours. This allows for real-time feedback and interaction. You can observe another classroom. Collaboration is one of the best things teachers can do to improve their practice. In Google Classroom, other teachers or administrators are able to enroll as students in other Google Classrooms. This is done by obtaining the class code from one's colleagues and joining their classes. Teachers can observe what type of assignments are being used and best practices. Note that teachers can only join Google Classroom of another teacher in the same domain. So that means only anybody from Green Local Schools can join. You can also sign up a teacher as your team teacher, and you both have access to it. Share student samples. Google Classroom assignments are saved to a Google Drive folder. This provides easy access to student work samples. Teachers can use the Google Drive icon when creating an announcement to find a previous assignment in the Google Classroom folder. Use the Control key to select multiple student documents at once and share them through an announcement. I hope that you've enjoyed the 15 things that you can use Google Classroom for. There are really about 100 of them, but I just limited to 15 today. If you have any questions, please drop by.